The doctor doesn't restrict me. Leave it for the weekly recap. And but the thing is, should I give two more tasks for everyone, or should I personally go through everyone's task and then like do it myself as well as how I would take them, like thoroughly breaking them down, like the two tasks I sent for everyone. Second one, okay, then after that I will give those two tasks as well. You guys will not be spared. यूट्यूब भाई आप व्हाट डज इट मीन का आंसर दो, तब तब तक मैं बाकी देखता हूँ, ठीक है यार, ये वाले टास्क देखने को थोड़ी बोला था मैंने। ओके, चैट। यूट्यूब भाई आप इधर हो। Not those tasks you haven't done those. Like I gave three, four tasks to the gang and two for everyone. Watch Euro USD's daily. Okay, Euro USD. My view just bit okay. I wouldn't. Yes, fine. Sweep of this high. Okay, nice. I wouldn't explain what I would, how I would do it. Would explain it after I have seen everyone. Dual this, I would take this as a dual current unestablished law already. Fine. SMT there. I being rejected. Crack in correlation mapping. Good. Reducing. इतना क्यों एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो? ये तो मैंने देखा भी नहीं था. मैंने देखा ही सिर्फ ये. अच्छा आप इस पे हो? I was on the futures contract. Ex- इतना क्यों explain you saying? Why explain this much? Just sweep of a high, established high of the week, displacement away, EQ being respected. So framing the continuation, following continuation, just this. Establish high of the week, displacement away, framing the following continuation, EQ being respected, all the continuation to take place. Just this. I will not much breakdown, but yes, has marked good 70 over these highs. Change in state. Okay, nice. This unestablished lows, right? You can see which side is price clearly displacing through and which side it is it lacking. So you can, without even like thinking for a second, you can see this being as a draw. Price like showing less willingness to move away from here. See how is it going higher off of there and how it displays going lower. So this frame it as retracement or consolidation anyhow you want, leaving failure swings clear, right? And then yes, nice. This is what I wanted. SMT with this high, even if you don't watch this SMT, still fine. But this high was a daily fair value gap in futures contract. And sweep of this current week's highs, framing weekly candle OHLC, and establish reversal back inside the range, framing the following continuation lower. SMT there, framing this back inside. Nice. What did you write? London, okay, London reversal near confirmation. I didn't talk about entries, but I will show them as well. I would think London puts okay, nice. USD rejected off of nice. Established high of the week. Good Josh. Point 0.5 of this being respected for framing the following continuation. Good. Clean separators. Clean established high for the week marked. EQ marked cleanly. Nice. Good Josh. H1. This had SMT, and so this would become much more better if you mark the SMT as well. This makes much more sense to stay protected as the correlated asset swept this high, bringing it back towards this low and ultimately unestablished low of the day and previous day low. Why using this? Okay, still nice. I'm daily or let's see. ये क्या कर रहे हो हितेश भाई डेली पे H4 का एफवीजी और बेरिश फ्रेम करना बुलिश वाकई यार अब वाकई ये वाला क्यों मार कर रहे हैं तो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा मैं तो बेरिश बोल रहा on daily price reached to POI then new phase okay you are telling me price reached a relevant POI so to move back inside so this you would frame as retracement's objective being this price rejected this so framing retracement to expansion IRL to IRL okay nice. Okay, I have gone over everybody's tasks for Euro USD. I guess so. So now I would do it personally. और गैंग में सबका देखा था मैंने यूडी भाई या नहीं यूरो यूएसडी वाला या मैंने यूरो यूएसडी दिया ही उधर था शायद है ना हाँ यूरो यूएसडी दिया ही उधर था गोल्ड दिया था दोनों में शायद है ना ठीक है ओके I have watched everybody's task for Euro USD. Now I would do mine. This weekly candle made me helped me clearly. I could clearly see established high for the week. This being the current high. This dotted line shows me where the weekly candle has opened without even watching the indicator. I could clearly see Monday opened here. Monday and then Wednesday reversal to framing. Thursday continuation lower, established high for the week. This being SMT with this high. Much more convictional idea. Use this, anyone. I am not interested in framing this. So be it here. And so going on to the lower time frames. I didn't watch H4 much. Established high for the week. I use these separators for separating each daily candle manually, like using Alt V, Alt V, Alt V. Using this tool, basically, this one, this vertical line. Use this to separate each daily candle and the rest time frames. I do it manual. I don't do it manually. The indicator does it for me. Like for any time frame other than daily separators. ना ना है ये मेरा चार्ट गलत है क्या या नहीं ठीक है I didn't watch this but nice I just looked at daily and H4 structure daily here I could see or have an idea in my mind okay established high over current week so could be a candidate for OH displacing back inside so OHLC weekly candle open high displacing away price displacing away from established high I frame continuation as how I frame daily candle, same way framing weekly candle here. So using EQ for this. If you want to frame continuation, if you want to see EQ of this candle being respected, you use till the close or full candle. Both work good. And so refining the idea to only you would want an OHLC daily candle in this day. Open high, large of a wick, but stays in respect with the EQ rejects immediately right and then forms SMT with this high over here, this high over here. So seeing this as a manipulation and EURUSD being the weaker pair, so you want to short it. Right. EQ being respected for the previous day, established high for the week, SMT there, and using how I frame daily profile, London reversals of framing New York continuation. Should I go onto the lower time frames or intermediate time frames as how I would have framed the entry? Gold, so how can I forget? Nice, right? Okay. For the people who have watched the daily profile session, I would like give you a hint, open the respective time frames. You people would tell me you would have taken this or this or this. Okay. Okay. A short point where I would partial 100% would have been current unestablished low of the day. And what I was talking earlier was remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this as well. See how this move is like staying around there and how is it moving away from here, right? Like this. And how is it moving away from there? Like this and then like this. You can clearly tell by looking at this that this should be a retracement. Obviously aligning the high time frame idea as well, but clearly see which side it is displacing towards. Displacing lower with much aggressiveness, going higher. See how is it going higher like this and displacing lower like this. You can already have a sense of being bearish, narrative being bearish in your mind. And so it's moving close. Clearly seeing these unestablished low for the day, equal lows resting here. So large wick for the daily candle, right? So this would have been a short spot for a partial and then holding runner still here. Previous day low. Now, how I would frame it. I have separate templates for separate word. The first template I use just for framing narrative. This template I use for entries. Intermediate time frame and lower time frame. This template is used just for daily H4 and then it is set on the H1 for the whole day once I have framed narrative from the daily H4. It I do not switch this or do not move this lower than 1 hour and I start my day off of here. It is set in a way. It is better for daily H4 and these are set in a way. These are better for intermediate time frame and lower time frame. So this gives me narrative, gives me direction. Then I move towards this for framing entries towards that in that direction. If this template doesn't tell me anything, vice versa for any asset. First one is for daily H4 framing narrative. Then it stays on H1 for the whole day once narrative has been established by me. Then I frame using this template. Like this one is for higher time frame. Then this one is for entries, intermediate time frame, lower time frame. Vice versa. This Another asset here for high time frame establishing narrative. This one for entries. These are set and designed in a way like took me months designing them, but now it makes me very effortless. It makes my work very effortless. Like so London reversal 2:45 3 a.m. And so you would frame New York continuation, right? I can see 9:15, so there could be an entry there. London reversal. You once this SMT has been formed, this looks like a good entry to me. Does it look like a good entry to the ones who have attended the daily profile session? Framing daily continuation entry away from high of the day. Even though I don't trade this much, but just following the system, partials here and runners till previous day low. And then if I were to watch out for another entry, then suppose you missed this. Then comes 10 a.m., 10 a.m. open high, sweeps out a opposing swing, intermediate term high. This builds you more conviction. Okay, like you want to frame bearish, like you are having an expectation of bearish expansion. Let me turn this off for a moment. You are having an expectation for a bearish expansion, like bearish order flow. And bearish order flow is when highs are rejected, highs reject price lower, and lows are displaced through. While and opposite for bullish order flow, lows do get rejected in bullish order flow, and highs do get displaced through. Lows reject price higher in a bullish order flow. Highs reject price lower in a bearish order flow. And when this high-low or order flow thing gets in alignment with OHLC logic, 10M open high, established high at a relevant POI, plus align that order flow thing, a high being rejected. Close below here, this is a continuation entry aligned with H4 candles OHLC. 10 a.m. open high, established high there, closer below here. I would want 1.5 hour at least. Like low of the day is here, but I would keep my runner till 1.5 hour at least. And it would have given me this, or who knows, maybe I would have got out on BE. Maybe I would have taken the 1.5 up. The let it be, but that's how I would have framed this if I missed this entry. So Euro USD this recap is clear. Should I move on to gold? Why not take entry before 10 a.m. 5 minutes LVGN? Where? This, if you do you have studied like EQ logic? Have you studied about the EQ logic? Like entry criteria. There are two types of entry which I would frame. One would be the established high of the candle I have the high time frame candle, which would be like using this as your stop loss. Establish high of the high time frame candle, which would be this on the M3, right? But if you miss this or you are framing the continuation entry in the high time frame candle in this candle, then you would use the EQ logic, right? Okay, sure. This is into a relevant POI. Nice. Okay. It did close below as well. Okay, nice. But is it backed by EQ logic to me? No. Like for this to stay protected, this I to stay protected, I would have wanted an expansion till here. May happen, may not happen. The EQ logic thing should be clear to you, right? May happen, may not happen, shouldn't be the case. If it goes, it goes. Like I do miss many entries because of this, but I am not when I am not okay risking my money on some entries, I simply avoid them even if they go without me. I have missed many entries till now. You don't know many entries. Even if it would have displaced, I wasn't okay trusting this high, and so I would let it go without me. If this high stays protected, I have I would have no regret missing on this because this isn't good for my system. According to my system, I would say this isn't good. A sweep of this would be good because it would be a bit higher in the range as well. More chances of being protected by the EQ logic. Like I can expect price going in the high time frame candle till here, right? And this would automatically like get backed by EQ logic. Plus, it would have rejected a high intermediate term high entry. Much better. Got the logic, or should I explain again? Yes, because of S&P, you won't consider it is a London reversal profile in Euro USD. If this is clear, I would move on to gold's example. I watched Euro USD after a long period of but by at 9:30 a new 30-minute candle opened. Can't we uh, I even if I am taking M1 entry, I frame it in accordance with the H1 candle. Like say this. Sometimes you would take M15 M1 entries, like okay, 10 a.m. open low here, displacing till here, then 10:30 or 10:15 opens here. This looks like a established low to you, right? And you would say, okay, this is a new M15 candle opening by. It is a established low for the M15 candle open. This was total valid. Yes, valid, but valid according to the M15 candle. I am always framing according to the H1. Rarely I would frame according to M15. Would this be backed by the H1 candle? No, right? And so more chances of this being swept, right? I framed a M1 entry today, but I framed it backed while it being backed by H1 logic as well. That high should have been like protected with the H1 logic. This was my entry, right? This was my entry. Okay, sure. You can clearly see the order log, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Talking about the low which I trusted this. Now, using this with the H1 logic, not with the M15 logic. Okay. Replaying my TP was here, just till there. Okay. Where does the H1 candle open? Here, okay. Where is the H1 candle's low? This, no, this one. Okay, 10 a.m. open low, swept a low, bullish order flow to me, a low rejecting price higher, right? Same logic here, a low rejecting price higher, bullish order flow. But I won't see this like, okay, bhai, it is an established low for an 1045 M15 candle. Sure, it is. But is this low backed by EQ logic of the full Orly candle? Where is the lowest low for the Orly candle? This 10M opens here, open low, lowest low here. This clearly looks like it should be backed, and price hasn't expanded away from it. Even at the closer, it is clearly backed by EQ logic, right? So it should have stayed protected. Too obvious type of entry. Not assuming that price should displace here and then my low, which is already resting here, then it should may get backed by ecology. This was already backed by ecology, even if price stayed here. So even if when I am framing M1 position, I align the H1 logic M13 sometimes, but mainly H1 logic always. That's why I didn't tell you guys or teach you or told you guys to frame M1 much because you wouldn't be able to differentiate between good M1 entries and bad M1 entries and would do yourself more bad. That's why only like suggested you M3, M5 entries and taught in that way only. I would give a more systematic approach like when to frame M1 and when to avoid M1. Like avoid M1 90-80% of the time. But there would be cases you would have clear draw. But why am I explaining this now? I will explain this later only to the gang. Nice. Like I had conviction with my draws today. Okay, this was my draw. Range high. And so I simply framed this entry. And I would tell the system behind this, like framing when should you frame M3, M5, when should you frame M1. I would teach the people in the gang about this after the mentorship ends. Okay. My main position was anyways on ES. Don't bother much about M1. Okay, gold. निशांत भाई का क्वेश्चन कहाँ गया भाई? पर भाई यार 9:30 ये तो आंसर कर दिया ना मैंने. निशांत भाई का क्वेश्चन क्या है? अच्छा वही निशांत भाई वाला ही. ओके ठीक है. Now is it clear and I should I move to the gold example? Yes. आराम से भाई आराम से. Gold. गोल्ड सिंह क्या हाल है? Okay, gold price tap into daily LVG 2 a.m. sweep 6 a.m. contribution. Nice, but not much. I would say this isn't much that would build narrative, build conviction for me as in order to why I should frame the H1 or M15 or M3 or M30 or M3. But okay, no worries. Works for you. So works. 4 on from ERL to IRL. Okay, but why are you people pattern trading it? Like swept out a candle low and inside? Doesn't work that way. Like it worked here because high time frame narrative, it was backed by high time frame narrative as well. Air into iron makes much sense here, but okay, kind of better answer than this one. Yes, don't patent trade it. You would you would get trolled. I don't want to use the bad word. You would get trolled very much by price itself, by markets themselves. यार ये एसएमटी मेरे को क्यों नहीं दिखी आप सबको दिखी थी manipulation at the daily relevant swing okay and off of previous level nice you already when you already have a framework then aligning everything with that okay ARL to RL but means FVG as the objective manipulation at relevant swing and previous level intermediate time only file was London reversal सर खाली ये इमेज भेज दी आपने चोर yes this is how you would make narrative yes but this wasn't like isn't complete until you align the h1 h4 with daily's narrative as well this I would consider this as a pattern trade you are framing this just because this worked not knowing the why behind it again a pattern trade ARL to IRL framed right but this isn't the ARL I would consider this is the Buzzmaze which एसएमटी डेली रेलेवेंट के स्पेलिंग ठीक करो भाई RELEVANT previous daily low manipulation lows being rejected bullish orders were sign of bullish orders 2 a.m. London reversal daily 5 new continental objective okay nice forward structure and daily I would say too clean too simple too good hit the relevant level so I can expect new phase of price nice thank God someone mentioned about phases of price. London, no other day, New York continuation, but not use them the best way possible. But okay, fine, works. At least someone mentioned about phases of price. Can't tell if this is or was a kind of entry I would take. Yes, sure. Just a second. Can't tell if I would take this or not. Not a clear opposing candle to me as well. And won't be much comfortable. You have just marked a random low. If I were to frame, I would have wanted this low to be placed in here. Can't trust it until unless it is a SMT with this here. Otherwise, I wouldn't trust this low till it hits this. Once it starts to displace away from it, then I can use it as a framework to frame continuation entries. Raman भाई क्या हाल है? Weekly logic okay. Weekly but means fair value gap. But means everywhere. Framing till the H4 but means fair value gap. Nice. ये यहाँ का मार्कर है भाई. Okay. Now I should watch Rom's work. Then I would explain how I would have framed, what logic I would have used. है कब करा सर दिखाओ मेरे को देखने दो मे बी आई वुड हैव मिस्ड निशांत भाई ने तो भेजा ही नहीं है चोर झूठ बोलते हो निशांत भाई तो गैंग में भेजा ओके सॉरी आई मिस्ड डोंट एग्जैक्टली रिमेम्बर बट Wait a minute. वाकई यार वाकई framing it even before I called it out. Too nice. This is how it should be done. I wasn't even on charts at this time, and she had already framed it. Nice. And framed it the best way possible, like proper narrative, proper structured approach till the perfect objective. I would have long till here as well. Same objective, same target, and I would have framed this H4 candle away from it. I would have used this as a relevant level. This is like when you know what you are doing, and then you can teach it to other people as well. Like if it was random, how would two, three, or more, 5, 10 people at least, 5, 10 people, sorry, no peoples, 5, 10 people can like replicate my approach the same way like every week. How would it have been possible? 6 a.m. kind of established, kind of not, I can't, maybe established, yes, and displaces away. So you can think of it as a established low, yes, and price displacing away from it. M15, Batmi's fair value gap, Batmi's everywhere. Nice. Price comes back inside, immediately starts displacing away. You would frame this move lower as a retracement and London reversal. So you can frame early New York entries as well. This would be 7 a.m., around 7 a.m. But framing on the M15 before 8 a.m. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice. I'm not just posting after the target has been hit, posting when she took it as well. Nice one. Called and framed out live all the way from the higher time frame. Too good. Even before I called it out. You people framed these entries after they worked. She was framing it live before it had worked. Too good. Garrett framed the same. Nice. But I don't think Garrett would have taken this M15 entry. Sure, Garrett may have framed the same way on the high time frame. May. I don't know exactly, but I don't think he would have framed the same entry. A bit. Yes, good Josh. Okay, now Dishant boys. Dishant boys. सर अपना भेजो कहाँ पे है सर आपने सिर्फ लिखा हुआ है वो तो भेजा ही नहीं कुछ प्राइस एक्सपेंडिंग इंटर ओके ये तो गलत था ना मैं क्यों पढ़ूं फिर टारगेटिंग ओपनिंग प्राइस दिस इज राइट बिकॉज लार्ज विक कैंडल yes I would go over this okay now have I watched everyone's task about for the gold stars and should I myself explain it break it down ये बंदा बहुत दिन बाद देखा है ये बंदा बहुत चालू है बहुत तेज हो रहे हैं लोग अब I was in a meeting so no problem efforts matter गौरव सिंह क्या हाल है अच्छा मेरे को बताओ सबका हो गया यार हिंदी बोलना नहीं जाता हूँ मैं should I myself explain now if I have not missed anybody's task for the gold stars okay starting from the daily for building narrative always weekly candle again helping me. Choo-choo-choo. Open low into a relevant key level. If you are using this, then it's fine as well. But as I know about relevant swings, as I know about Batmi's FVG, that's why I was using this. If you use this, that's fine as well. Okay. Clear range low. Price expands into an objective, clearly expands, and expansion into an objective. So a new phase of price could take place. I do not know which phase it would be. If price expands and then consolidates, I would see this as an opportunity to short it again, as consolidation is a continuation signature to me. Like if price sweeps it, then Fleming short still here. If price doesn't sweep, would let it go. But consolidation is a continuation signature to me. If price expands into an objective and shows retracement, leaves failure swings here, leaves failure swings here, and then reaches the retracement objective, could be IRL, could be an opposing swing. And then I would frame this move lower than framing it as retracement to then expansion to the main draw. Like if the next four phases are there: expansion, retracement, consolidation, and reversal. Expansion into new phase, three phases would be there. If it is a retracement, I would still frame in the same direction till this. Okay. If it is a consolidation, I would still frame in the same direction. Only one scenario would be there: if price expands into an objective and immediately expands to the opposite direction away from it, then I would view this as expansion into an objective, immediate expansion met with expansion to the opposing side after the relevant uh, level is it. So I would view this as a reversal to trade to the opposing side. Only reversal would be the case when price reaches the objective and you frame to the opposing side. If price shows expansion into an objective, then shows consolidation of a pair. This consolidation tells me price wants to continue once more at least in the previous direction. So if consolidation happens, I frame in the previous direction. If we show the if retracement happens, price leaves failure swings, reaches the relevant internal level or retracement objective, shows displacement away from it, then I would frame retracement to expansion till here, again framing the same direction. If price changes its phase of price from expansion to retracement or consolidation, if price changes its phase of delivery from expansion to reversal, like expansion met with expansion to the opposing side, aggressive move out of the range, aggressive move back into the range. Expansion met with expansion to the opposing side after the relevant objective is it. This is reversal to me. Then I would frame till the opposing side, opposing objectives. So this was the case here. Price expanded into an objective, expanded into an objective, and 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 previous day closed a bit strong below this. So then previous day low being used as a level to sponsor reversal. Price hits previous day low, expansion into an objective met with immediate expansion, right? Expansion into an objective met with immediate expansion to the opposing side. So this you would consider as a reversal, right? This looks like a reversal now. Give me a second. चोर है ना ये चोर Now, does it look like a reversal to you? Price expands into an objective. Expansion met with expansion to the opposing side. Aggressive move out of the range, aggressive move back into the range. Can you consider this new phase of price as a reversal? Right? And so, as I know, I am framing any idea, aligning it with the daily candles formation. As I know, daily candle has a large wick. This candle had small opposing run, small wick, and so was justified to expand. And this expansion so was justified. This was plausible. But as this day has a large wick, so price wouldn't be able to expand much far away from this current high. Sure, it can expand till here as well, but that wouldn't be systematic for me, right? It could work one day, it could fail 10 days. I am not interested in that. So kind of large wick. So I would reduce my objectives around current open current day's high or daily opening price. This is current day's high, and if I look left, I can see a Vatmi's fair value gap. Nice. So I would refine my objective here. Frame this H1 Vatmi's fair value gap or frame till this H4. A current daily high is just a failure swing to this relevant objective here. Vatmi's FVG, right? I have given much examples for it. Should be clear in my opinion now. And so after that, you you have a bias, you have a direction, you have a narrative confirming this move, framing this small of a move, but backed by logic is much high probable than framing this much move without it being backed by narrative, without it being backed by proper system. I'm okay framing this move, but with my system. Okay, this framing this much move out of my system isn't like okay to me. Framing even less than that is okay to me if it is if it aligns with my system. Okay, so can look for entries after that, right? And by then 6 a.m. candle had opened 6 a.m. open small wick, so 6 a.m. candle spotted for expansion. We have a clear draw. Sure, you would take partials around current high of the day. This was Rom's entry. Around 2 hour previous day and 2.89 hours. Like aligning the daily profile now as you have a established narrative, right? If I were to see, this would have been a good entry as well. London reversal can frame before New York as well, and clean opposing candles enough of a range, not this much small, right? Enough of a range. So had I looked here, early London, this looked valid as well. Frame this M30 or frame that M15, both are valid to me. This would have been my invalidation. London reversal can frame continuation entries, right? And if this swing, this opposing candle would have been this of this range, maybe I wouldn't have been okay trusting this. But enough of a range, clean close, I can trust this swing, right? I just saw it now. Entry there, trusting this low. Same 2 hour till previous day high and 2.3. Getting less risk reward than when you frame here. Okay, but still a valid entry, I would say. Very rare. It is very, very rare. I frame before 6, 7 a.m. Very rare. Like once in 100 positions, I would frame before 6, 7 a.m. Okay. Missed this, no problem. You would use this as a framework by this time. The framework would have been more convictional, right? So framing this continuation entry in the 6 a.m. candle, again using EQ logic, I could have expected this low to hold, 6 a.m. being an expansion candle. So I would have maybe minimum wanted price to expand till here, right? Should expand till here, minimum 6 a.m. being expansion candle. I'm expecting till here, so this low gets held and makes it reach there. But if you use this as a framework and not as an entry, how would you frame? M3, M5 around 8 a.m. So you offer lows being rejected, bullish order flow. Oh, this was Shafi Bai's entry, but I would switch time frames to get a better series of opposing candle. This is much better. M3, I would take M3 closer here rather than M5 if I were to. Maybe limit, maybe market, depending upon the objective. I would have market ordered this. Enough of a risk reward for me. Yes. And suppose you even miss this, use this as a framework. What I would have preferred, would have wanted this low to get swept to form an established low of 8 a.m. candle. Watch out for SMT. Similar swept that, but I wouldn't be still okay. Framing gold. This is much nice. Now much better. SMT with here. SMT there. M5. Clean opposing candles. SMT there where I would have wanted a manipulation. Can take this as well. Less risky reward, so limit order maybe. Just give me a second. Okay, suppose even if you miss this again, one, two, three, even if you miss three entries, not talking about the one in the London, even if you miss three entries in New York itself, first on the M15, second this M3, this was the best, I would say, and the M15. Like I would rate this above this one, this entry. Clean sweep of an opposing swing, continuation entry provided in New York, right? That M15 and this much better. This would be kind of A entry. This would be A plus. That M15 would be A plus. Now, if I get to see another A plus entry, yes, this looks like one. Sweep of a M3 low, right? Lows rejecting price higher. And Frame it on M3, frame it on M5. Same. I wouldn't prefer to take market order there. Belonging till this objective, just getting around 2 hour. This would have been the much better entry than this. And 8:30 open low to me. I don't wanna like do it that way. Expansion into an objective immediately rejects. So this move either reversal, either retracement. If this is a retracement objective being this, price rejects this, immediately displaces away. So retracement to expansion can trust this low even more. Establish low of the high time frame candle as well backed by phases of price. Plus EQ of opposing candles being respected. So limit order if I get filled, if I don't, I don't. Same kind of entry. This one. Kill the objective. Just 2 hours exactly. And we get tagged. That's how I would frame. I showed you like 3, 4, or maybe 5 entries, and it was just looking like this small of a move on the high time frame, even after waiting that much, right? Just we just framed this much move, right? Only this, using all this for framework to frame only this and see how much we can capitalize on this, even if we miss more than double move of that. So rely on your system, boys. Rely. Your system would reward you much more than you think. Also swipe नहीं होता सर, sweep होता है, sweep. Uh, एक सेकंड दो मेरे को. सर निशांत भाई एक चीज दिखाओ. निशांत भाई इस वर्ड पढ़ के एक चीज दिखाओ, इस वर्ड को. बड़ी पहले ये चीज मैंने किसी पे यूज करी थी. हाँ कोई बात नहीं, मैं भी सो रहा हूँ. लास्ट टाइम निहाल भाई पे यूज करी थी. आप पे यूज भी कर रहा, जस्ट बता रहा हूँ. देखो.
सर माइंड ब्लो जॉब, माइंड ब्लो जॉब, माइंड ब्लो नहीं यार, माइंड ब्लोइंग जॉब.
Been a while since I used this. Nice. So I would give the. How would I give the two tasks? The two tasks were like, give me an entry, frame me an entry on gold and frame me an entry on Euro USD. I myself covered those both tasks. So yes, you won't be having those two tasks now, as I myself covered them unintentionally or intentionally. Say, I forgot. I forgot about them. Sweet that. Yes, मैंने बोला तो सही. That was a good entry. शफी भाई ने जो ली वो M5 पे थी, सेम मैं M3 पे लेता. Just because clear series of opposing candles. Opposing swing. lows rejecting price, clean opposing candle, clean closure, market order there, right? M5, not much clear, right? No clear series of opposing candle like this, like price coming this. Which series to trust? Don't know. It should be very much clear, right? This whole leg, and not shouldn't be like this. You don't know this to use, this to use, this to use. Okay. Instead, change the time frame. Use the best series possible. Like there was a reason I framed M6 entry on ES today. Okay, let me show you as well. Like, see, I was framing around 10 a.m., right? Not much clean series of opposing candles. Yes, it is clean, but I don't know if I have to touch this. If this, yes, a bit better, but then this comes in between, so not much good. This is clean, super follow. But if I go to M5 now, still confused. Like, not, yes, this is a clean series on M5, much better. But यार चल जा मैंने मार चलानी है. But price can trust this. No, you could have framed market order there, but leave it. M6 looked much better to me. इसको अब मैं करूँ साइड. ठीक है, इंडिकेटर करूँ अगर मैं ऑफ. Sweep of an opposing swing, clean opposing candles, clean closovers, right? So framing too clean, too obvious setups. Not trying to force. Forcing will take more away from you than it would give. And waiting for clean setups would reward you much more than you think.
तो भाई अ, एक गोल पे आप जा सकते हो वापस प्लीज, अगर आपका ये हो गया हो तो, मतलब एक्सप्लेनेशन.
यस, डरा नहीं दिया करो भाई. जगदम आप ऊपर आ गए, मेरे को लगा मेरे घर के बाहर से आवाज आई है. अब बोलो.
So on the 3 minute, the entry which you have marked, right before that also there is a sweep. If you can look into that. The one which I think Shakti Bhai took. Uh,
आपकी
7
आवाज
a.m.
क्लियर
exact
नहीं है.
open. Hello.
है पर आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है. मतलब आवाज क्लियर है, आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है. नेट तो ठीक है.
नहीं 7. Wait. So 7 a.m. open exactly. You see that down close kind of 7:03 का, हाँ ये वाला. So that is also a swipe of liquidity, correct?
Sir, there is a reason. I told you guys to like not frame entries lower than M3, M5 before 8 a.m. I can frame it. Like, yes, I won't frame it myself as well when Asia reverses. But even when London reverses, I have told you guys to stick to M15 if you are framing before 8 a.m. I can't trust any of these lows. When price shows me clear opposing move, clean move away, then I can. I would view this as a one whole move. I can trust this. Clean sweep, clean opposing move on the higher time frame, right? This looks like much more of a range or retracement than yes, sure it swept this low. But no, I would have wanted these lows as well and not too clean.
Okay, okay, ठीक है.
This would be like kind of forcing. This is much clean opposing candle, but still I wouldn't frame it. I can't trust this low, even if it is much clean opposing candle, clear close through. I can't trust this. When price comes this much, now I can view this whole move as a retracement, moving opposing to this, right? Sure, sweeping out a clean opposing swing. All these lows swept by then, clear displacement away. And if you look, there would be no M5 closer around there. Even if you were to frame this, right? What flow were you using? This M30 low, maybe this, right? The time frame where it has clean opposing candle, order block never got formed there. And see, now if you use this as your order block, okay, this as your relevant key level, the M30 FVG, okay, again fine. Opposing swing on M5, okay, again fine. Clean opposing swing swept. I can even trust this sometimes. What would you need? A closer above here? Price goes, can't close above, right? Goes there, can't close above, rejects. And so this low isn't like protected to me. I like saw some entry around there, maybe not. In someone's chart, I wasn't myself there. I came back when gold had already reached my draws. And now I can tell myself either this move is consolidation, either this move is retracement, clearly not expansion into the same direction, right? And I have clear objectives pending. So I can tell myself, yes, I want to frame into the previous direction of previous expansion, right? Clear opposing objectives left. And how would I frame if this move lower is a retracement, opposing swings as an objective, and high time frame internal levels. Now clear displacement away, right? Frame it here now. Even if you don't want to take, I told you, you can take this as now by this time, this move lower, which was retracement, this would have ended and now price is okay to expand again, right? Retracement to expansion, objectives left here. Now expansion. So use this for framework or use this for entry. I would have wanted an established low entry for ATM as I told you. Price came this much close to the low, so I would now not have been able to trust this low unless this was SMT and this was SMT. So you can take this. No clean series on M3. M5 has a clean series, right? Frame this. Even if you miss this, then this again expansion into an objective. This opposing move as a retracement. Objective left around there. Immediate displacement away. Which side has displacement? This side or this side? You can tell yourself by this as well, right? And so framing this less risk reward if you take market. So taking limit order if you get filled. If you don't get filled, you can't do nothing. Like I have missed many gold entries, many. You wouldn't have watched as much gold entries as much as I have missed, just because I can't trust some laws, and sometimes they end up getting held. Like even if this entry would have worked, I would have never been able to trust this. If it goes, it goes. Never I would have been able to trust this. If it displaces away from it, then I would frame continuation. Ask Mumbai how much gold entries I have missed, or I have let gold go without me even when I have clear direction, clear bias. So more like uh, when flaming entries, can you trust this low? Like there would be entries that could be in alignment with my system, but that's where comes the manual experience, which tells me not to trust it. So I would rather use them as a framework and not as a means of entry, and let them go if they want to go. Many times I have missed the whole move, waiting for a good entry, good swing, which I can trust. And many times I get no entry, which I can capitalize on a move which I have clear direction for, and that's fine. Mind blows also, mind blows. अभी तक बताया मैंने सब. Next objective to me for gold would be this. You can view it more of a buy model, right? MMBM, low resistance. You can clearly tell by the displacement, right? But one thing I would not want to see gold opening and clearly taking out my objectives. I would desperately want it. I would request it, please open and consolidate a bit. Sweep, form a New York reversal and not a London reversal, please. I want a consolidation or retracement after this much expansion. Please don't directly expand till here. Please do something like this, then retracement, form a New York reversal off of here, and give me a room for capitalizing on you. I was wanting to short this day here, SMT there. Missed this as well. I was wanting to long this day till here. Missed this as well. Please don't make me miss this day as well. Because gold is like that. When I have two clean objectives, it says, okay, you have clean objectives. Let me hit that objective in Asia in itself. But it would be out of my system. So even if gold does this to me, like for 1,000 days, I would never trade Asia because it is simply not my system. So, like respecting every part of the system. Step one met. Yes, you have framed narrative. Okay. Move on to the next step. Okay, you have framed daily profile. Okay, move on to the next step. You have framed entry. Okay, take it. If any of the step isn't met, you simply don't do anything. Following those steps is your edge. Like if I tell myself, okay, Asia could expand and I then start looking for entries in Asia, that isn't my edge. I can get stopped out tens of times and it could give me my system in New York without getting any help. That would be better. So missing a move that is out of your system is good. And think, don't think when you have a clear direction, you would always get a chance to frame. When you have a clear direction, clear narrative, that is just one step, one part of your system. Aligning the intermediate lower time frames, aligning the daily profile matters as well. If the other parts aren't met, they are there for a reason to give you an edge. But if you take the positions out of those steps just because a single step narrative has been met, then you are yourself doing bad to you. I respect my system and it respects me as well, therefore. I'm okay missing 10 consecutive days even when I have clear narrative. But if the other parts of my system don't align to frame using that narrative, using that direction, I won't frame. Following my system every day, if it gives me, if it says yes, I execute. If it says no, I don't. As simple as that. Respecting the yes and respecting the low as well. No as well. We will learn London. My model, I have framed it that way that you shouldn't be trading Asia or London. Never. Only when one in a like once in 100 of a case when I would take an entry in London. I do remember a day in NQ taking a 45-minute entry. Let me see it on the daily and I would show you. Like I exactly know which day and which time frame because taking an entry in London very is a very rare case scenario. Very, very rare case. I would get to know just by watching daily chart which day it was. This day. Framing Monday till this objective. Or maybe I would have see how exactly I remember that even the day because there were like I had conviction with my narrative and daily profile allowed me. There was London reversal, so I could frame early entries, but the more early in the day, the higher the time frame. ES and Q, I don't exactly remember. I don't exactly remember. There was M45 entry, I guess so, or M30 maybe, but I think so. M45 on NQ. Let's see. H4, if I would have, no, I would have framed till here only. Not much clean. Framing till here. And H1. Okay. You can see a bullish framework setting up nicely, right? Lows being rejected. Lows being rejected. You can see why I was bullish. Train highs being left. And this was framed from the daily. You can see the daily closure as well. And if I'm having a expectation for continuation, I would want EQ of this candle upper half to support price higher, right? And would surely want this low to stay protected, then lows being rejected, lows being rejected. I didn't exactly remember this framework, but I do remember it was a London entry M45, if I am not wrong. Equal low? ये कैसे हो गया? Maybe it is showing equal low in NQ now, but it was December 24, 2024, so it wasn't equal low at that time, I guess so. And maybe I would have framed ES. Maybe I don't exactly remember. M45 MQ. This, I guess so. I don't exactly remember now, but this wouldn't have been an equalo at that time, as then I would have wanted a sweep of this, and then this. Maybe yes, maybe no. I was saying this as an established law of 2 a.m. there, kind of. Yes, clear closure above. Reversal continuation, framing till previous day high. Already too much risk reward. So, like rare case scenario, I would frame prior to New York, once in a blue moon event, and price expanded much even after that. But yes, I do did remember the day exactly on from the daily because I had much conviction from the daily chart itself. This was SMT as well with this low. So very rarely I would take entries prior to New York. Just frame New York, you would be better mentally and you would get more time as well. Like see how from the past 3 days I am very busy, like stay out of my staying like spending the most of my time out of my home and still able to frame good entries even when I do come late. So like you get things done in your life as well while framing two good setups at the same time, even if you get late. That's how it should be. Like effortless, not like spending full day in front of screen, having less conviction in your entries and then doubting yourself and then not even able to capitalize on it. Right? So just just frame New York, you will be very much better mentally as well. Voice change because अब यूट्यूब भाई गला सूखने को क्या कहते हैं? काइंड ऑफ वही। और डॉक्टर के पास गया था तो ये उसी का ही वही है। मतलब गला भी इसलिए सूख रहा है क्योंकि बॉडी के अंदर का एक इशू है। क्या ही कर सकता हूँ अब। The things which need to be done should get done anyhow. Uh, yes, I am like it's opposite for me. I do, I am like okay with doing the advanced tasks easily. I do lack a bit with easy tasks. Like the bad memory case happens most times with me when my mom's like tells me, okay, go to the next room and okay, do this there or go to the next room and like pick this thing up and give it to me. I go to the next room and then forget what my mom said on the way to the next room. My memory works that way, like more difficult for me when I am framing the easy task, easy for me when I am doing the advanced task. Like my mind is so used to doing the advanced task that it has forgotten how to do the easy task. It has forgot, not forgotten, maybe. थक गया मैं, थक गया. Yes, one more thing. Adds more conviction, adds more
Uh, Basically, you get advantage only by framing only New York session. Like adds more conviction as well and make takes less time, less of your time, and leaves less spaces for error, and sometimes gives you more higher risk reward than you would have by framing early in the day, and basically confirms the narrative even more and saves you when your bias is right. Driver thing, yes, God made it the best way. Like do with everything, do it the right way, and you would be good with your whole life as well. Like I was out the whole day today, yesterday, and day before yesterday, and like very, it was very hard for me to manage and come at the right time, even though I got late all 3 days. But still, I was able to. Yes, I missed gold both days, but talking just about indices, still I was able to frame right because I have the clarity with New York in my mind and I know, yes, this, then that. And I did miss one entry, 9:30 entry on Monday, I guess. Yes, I came much late that day, but I took 10:30 contribution then. If I if I was home at the right time, I would have got like 7 8 hours. But I got late, but I had more conviction with narrative then. And so I took more of a like 3 4 hour or maybe less, but still okay rather than missing on whole move. टाइम कितना हुआ टाइम डेट गैप होना पड़ेगा मेरा टाइम हो गया गैप होने का गुड भाई एक मैंने कर लिया ब्रेक डाउन एक मैंने दे दिया टास्क एक मैंने टास्क का समझा दिया आधे काम हो गए कल मैंने करना है ड्राइवर सेशन प्रिपेयर और ये सारी चैट्स जो भी है ये मैं कल पढ़ूंगा ये सारे भी कल पढ़ूंगा पर मेन काम क्या था अपना ब्रेक डाउन posting my top downs of both positions and giving tasks and breaking them down. Yes, most of the work is completed. Now I have to prepare for driver session. Would try to take it like in afternoon, much way before the New York session, so that my New York session doesn't get affected tomorrow at least. I have to go visit the doctor tomorrow. Maybe I would try to like delay the appointment by a day if possible. Okay. Anyhow, had to get blood tests done. Have to get ultrasound done. यार 4 तो टेस्ट बोले हैं चोर ने ब्लड टेस्ट पूरी बॉडी का उसमें मैं इतना कमजोर पड़ जाऊंगा यार उसके बाद टेस्ट टू टेस्ट एक उसने बोला है फुल बॉडी प्रोफाइल और यार इसमें 2 लीटर तो खून निकालते हैं शरीर से भाई मैं आगे बीमार इंसान से निकालने का और अल्ट्रासाउंड में तो क्या ही होता है पर बीमार ज्यादा हूँ तभी उसने 4 टेस्ट बोले हैं भाई बाकी 2 लिखे हुए हैं वो मम्मा को पता है और कल भी मैं जा नहीं रहा था पता है गालियां चला चला के घर वाले लेके आज नहीं जा रहा था मेरे को धोखे से लेके गए हैं डॉक्टर के पास पता है लाइक scammed me. I was told by my mother that she had some important work to do and she took me to the doctor without by telling me she had to visit the doctor and I I should be the one. I was the one who was accompanying her. I was told this way. And when I got to see my name on the report, I was like, okay, I am being scammed. Nice. Then I had no option rather than playing along with it. Because, like, in my mind, if I had visited the doctor a month ago, this mentorship wouldn't have reached here because 100% sure the doctor would have recommended bed rest to me and would have told my parents to like not let him use any device. Like my condition a month ago was very worse. I did take some steps to improve it a bit so that I won't have to reach out my mother. Don't funga my mother so that my mother doesn't force me much to reach out or have an appointment with doctor so that even with bare minimum health, I it was in my mind that complete the mentorship first, then do because it feels guilty for me if I leave something, leave if I start anything and leave it undone, unfinished. So like finishing the unfinished business first, then going on about my life. And I couldn't rush it anyways because if I am doing something, I would try to do it the best possible way, not because I have to do another thing. Let me rush this one thing. Like if I am not doing it the best way possible, I won't prefer doing it anyways. But if even if I am thinking of doing it, don't even think of doing it like with half of your efforts. Only if you are willing to put in 100% of your efforts, willing to give best, only then think of starting it. And I had started the mentorship, so couldn't back off. So yes, that's why I was delaying my appointment with the doctor from months. Actually, my appointment was meant to be done in February, but February I visited Mahakumbh. Then a month happened anyhow. Then March mentorship started. Then April, May, and it is going on, going on. I would surely get things done by April, May, by June, most probably. My and अब मेरे को एक और चीज में गफा चलना है भाई. फुल बॉडी वाले ने तो बोला ही है बट आंख वाले डॉक्टर ने भी बोला था मेरे को 6 महीने बाद दिखा देना एंड इट्स बीन मोर देन 8 months. Hope so my mother doesn't like remember that, else she would take me to there as well. Like taking me to the eye surgeon. He had told me to like revisit him uh, in like 2 3 months or 4 months, and it's been more than 8 months. My first eye was operated July 2024. Second day I was operated around my birthday, October 2024. So more than 7 8 months for both eyes. Yes. I remember I was attending Om Bhai's elder brother's wedding and was attending it like a literal blind man or a drunk blind man. And Om Bhai wasn't attending his brother's wedding with his family, and he was instead like staying with me, helping me to walk. But I couldn't miss it because once in a lifetime opportunity. My doctor had recommended me to not even walk alone in my home. Like it wasn't even 10 days to my operation, but that was necessary. So I went out from home. In my home, I wasn't even allowed to like step out of my bed alone because I couldn't see properly. You won't be able to see properly clearly until after 1 month of your operation. Like even if I wanted to use laptop or use mobile, I couldn't do it because my eyes couldn't see properly like the first month after the operation, and the eyes barely open. It pains in the first month when you try to open your eyes a bit more, a bit normally. But I had to attend Mumbai's brother's wedding, so a bit sacrifice, yes. I did add more pain after the wedding, but yes, justified. Okay, then bye bye, guys. I will hop off. We'll talk later. This. No Panga will help from June onwards. We will start it the better way from June onwards. Let us get used to framing my system this month and let us become beasts by June. Okay, then bye bye.